Welcome to B.A.Showoff, the Dance Lifestyle Podcast. I'm Becky.
And I'm Alexandra. And whether you're a dance coach, dance parent, or a dancer yourself, this is the show for you. Today, we're sitting down and talking with Morgan Burke.
Hi.
Hi, Morgan.
Hi.
Thank you for being here with us today.
No worries. Thank you for having me, honestly.
Of course. We're happy to have you.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself. We're so excited to have you here. Want to hear all about you and how you got into this dance team world.
Okay, yeah. Well, thank you for having me. I'm really excited. I am from Nashville, Tennessee originally. When I was younger, I was a singer, and there was an audition where we had to learn choreography. And I remember the people that would then become my dance teachers came in and they taught some choreography, and I was learning it, and I was like, I think I like this better. So at that point, I got their information and I started training at DC Dance Factory. And then in high school, I also went to Nashville School of the Arts. There was a year where I moved to LA when I was 15, and I attended Debbie Allen Dance Academy, which was great. And then after I graduated back in Nashville, I moved to Los Angeles, and I did that for about 13 years. Yeah, and then I moved back to Nashville about 3.5 years ago. But anyways, my segue to dance team, the way that I got there, my route, I did a convention a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago, no, even more, 12 years ago at this point. And I was a jazz teacher, and Emily Schock was the contemporary teacher. And this is pretty recent after she had her daughter, and she had taken a travel choreography job with Millard North. And I think that she just wanted to not travel as much and just be home with her daughter. So she messaged me and was kind of like, hey, I have this job, you're gonna do it. And I was like, what? And she said, it's a dance team, I'll give you videos, you'll study, it'll be great. And yeah, that was I've been doing this for 12 years, so that was.
Did she choreograph and then you did it, or she?
Yeah. She choreographed. I want to say she choreographed a hip hop number for them. And she really liked the coaches, but I think it was just hard for her to be away. So she was like, I'm just going to pass it along to you. And I was so terrified because I really did not grow up around it at all. And
it's an intimidating style.
It is. It is very intimidating. And yeah, just very opposed from what I grew up doing. You want me to choreograph a turning combo? I don't know a turning combo. So yeah, that was 12 years ago, and here I am now, which is wild.
And you train mostly in contemporary and hip hop?
Yeah, the studio that I went to was, just a competition studio where we trained pretty heavily in jazz, lyrical. The studio is mostly known for hip hop. So we trained really hard in that. And then at the high school, I was training in a lot of ballet and a lot of modern. I think at that point, we were calling it lyrical, but it was contemporary.
Yeah.
So that's where all my training was. And then, yeah.
And did you ever go into the commercial world at all before you started choreographing?
I did, yeah. I moved to Los Angeles in 2009. And full transparency, it was really hard.
Yeah.
It was so hard. I didn't understand how much of it was a look. Mm-hmm. I just thought I'll just out effort these people. I'll just work harder, I'll dance harder, I'll do whatever. And I just didn't understand, this is so bad. It's so bad. I was there for 12 years. I never got headshots. I didn't understand the whole game of it all. Now I'm here at 34 cringing. But I didn't get it. So I did a few commercial jobs, but eventually where I kind of landed was I assisted everyone. That's really where I found
with choreography.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I was working behind the scenes with Mia on So You Think and Ray Leeper on So You Think. I used to assist Erica Sobel at The Edge, and when we would do traveling choreography. So that's what I ended up doing mostly in Los Angeles.
Which is cool experience. I
Yes,
mean, assisting,
yes.
you learn a lot.
So much.
And is that kind of what like pushed you to get into choreo in general?
Yeah, I think that through doing that, I realized that like, unless I'm on stage dancing to demonstrate how I want you to do something, I don't think I want to be on stage dancing.
Yeah.
I love dancing, but something about, like, I basically just have stage fright at this point. I'm sure that you guys saw it when you came to Prodigy, but every time I try to demonstrate a combo, I forget it. Like, I just always go down in flames for a second, which, you know, if it's my class, this works. But if I'm dancing behind, you know, whomever, it doesn't go over so
when
well.
it's your class, you're like, what do you mean I said 5-6?
Yeah,
No, that's not what I said.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. You remembered it wrong. Yeah. So when I started assisting people, I realized, like, oh, this is, I want to teach you and then watch you do it. This is more exciting than me doing it.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
interesting that like everybody's path is so different.
Yes.
And like,
Yes.
you know, as much as I'm sure every dancer thinks I want to be a professional dancer, sometimes that's just not your path.
No, and that's cool that you found it early on. And, you know, because there's some people who will go and try the professional dance world for so long and then be like 15 years and like, okay, well, not for me. Let me start somewhere else now.
Yeah.
So that's cool that you got that start nice and young and, you know, were able to jump with it and look at how far you've gone. Yeah.
I mean, I think that that's one big thing that I've taken away. The studio that I grew up at, the studio owner's wife, her name is Stephanie Campbell. She's my godsend. She taught me everything I know. And a lot of her choreography is based on like visuals, like group choreography. So I was just learning it and I wasn't really thinking about it. And, you know, now that I'm in dance team, so much of it is just making smart visuals and levels and all of that. So I was learning it, but I had no idea why.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, this looks cool, great. And now I often find when people are hiring me, they're like, oh, your visuals are just smart and da-da-da-da-da. And it's literally something that I was learning in the background as I was trying to remember the choreography for our competition numbers.
So how long now have you been choreographing dance teams?
This is my 12th year.
Wow, so a
which
long
is
time.
Crazy, yeah.
So you started with Millard.
I did.
Yeah, they're great. I love
They are.
the coaches.
Yeah.
We connect every year. I mean, we don't get to see each other often, but we get to connect every year at the coaches conference and then at nationals for a moment. Like we just run by each other.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a
works.
great group.
Yeah, and they some great dancers. Their kids are amazing. I mean, we compete against them in jazz and game day, but I love going and watch them do palm and
Oh my goodness, they're
incredible.
So good at palm.
They really are.
What a group to like throw you into the wolves for your first choreography job.
I mean, I'm really fortunate in that sense. A lot of people have asked like how you rise up the ranks, and I have to say, like, I was just gifted. I had no idea that like I was getting to work with one of the best teams in the bracket. I didn't know that. So yeah, I think, I thank God for that constantly, because it really was just almost like a bit of cutting the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you go to nationals every year to watch?
Yeah, most of the time I do go to nationals every year to watch. I would say like for the past 4 or 5 years I've gone.
Now you're gonna have 2 weekends to go.
Oh gosh, I gotta figure that out. That sounds
Just move to Orlando for January, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that a lot of people are trying to figure that out and see what they're going to do, because you'll be there for an entire week easily.
Exactly.
Just keep your hotel.
Keep the hotel, that really affordable.
Right.
Orlando hotel.
Right.
Yeah.
Just take the 2 days in between to sleep, but you gotta pick right back up.
Yeah. I gotta see about how I'm going to make that work, but it's just one of those things where I can tell it makes a difference being there.
Yeah. For the team having the choreographer there, it's so special.
Yeah.
And just, you're there, and just like the two little things that you could say to make the difference on how their performance is going to be on the stage is, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So if you're able to be there, I mean, for the dancers, I know it's very special.
Yeah.
So the support's always nice, and having the choreographer there is just like,
Yeah. So who else do you choreograph for?
I choreograph for St. Brendan here in Miami. I choreograph for Eisenhower's JV team. I choreograph for California High School. I choreograph for... I'm trying to think. If I forget people, please don't hate me. Don't hate me. I choreograph for a few teams now.
Do any of them compete against each other?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that's tough.
Yeah, last year, which was like this really, really wild moment. Last year in D2 small, a team I forgot to say. Love you, Turlings. Turlings got second to my piece from St. Brendan that got first.
Oh, well, that's good, though.
Yeah, it was great. It was really a really cool moment. Sometimes they do choreograph against each other, but I don't go in with anything prepared when I choreograph. So I'm genuinely giving each team the best piece based on what's in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, there's going to be times where one team gets, like, maybe a better product, but it's not from me having favorites. It's because, like, maybe that team's just really strong that year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, some...
That's what you felt at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, maybe the strong people on the team that year graduate, and then this team it kind of fluctuates that way.
Do you pick your own music, or does a coach pick it with you? How do you do that?
It depends. A lot of times I genuinely would prefer to pick the music, but sometimes I understand as a coach, you just have a feeling about a certain song. Mm-hmm. And in those moments, it usually pays off well. It's hard. It is hard because sometimes there's just like a difference in taste. Like somebody will want me to choreograph to a song that I'm like lovingly. If this song were to come on the radio, I would turn it off.
Right.
So I don't know if. But at the same time, it's like the coach is aware of what their kids are going to execute the best.
Well, it is hard if you are given a song and you have like no inspiration for it.
Right.
And so I think as a coach, you take that into consideration. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love this song, but if it doesn't inspire you, I'd rather you not do it.
Yeah, I found that a lot of times with choreographers, you end up wanting to find something that you're inspired by, the choreographer's inspired by, the kids are inspired by, and every time, every year there's always like a battle of the songs with choreographers. Every year, it never fails, and I no matter up until what point, you always end up finding a song that you both like. I feel sometimes you just kind of need to go through a lot, and even when it feels like there's no, end to this, we're never going to settle on a song, somehow it just finds you.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a high pressure moment that I feel like whenever we're in it, we do that thing of like, I'm not going to find anything, like the music gods hate me, and then it always works out. Yeah.
I mean, I think as long as you don't hate the song, you will figure it out, and it'll happen. Yeah. But if you hate the song, which it could happen, it happens.
It does happen.
Yeah. But I think always try and push for a song everybody appreciates at least.
Yes.
Like, all three of those factors. Because I find that when all three are in it like that, that's when the kids perform the best, which is ultimately what we want.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And everybody puts in their maximum effort in a moment like that.
Yeah, and you're more contemporary, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, there's so many amazing contemporary songs that I think that there's, you could find the balance of we're both going to be happy.
Definitely.
What are some ways, because I think that a lot of coaches struggle with finding the right song, what are some ways that you look for songs or feel that like this is a song that I could choreograph to a dance team or with a dance team?
I remember it was it was the year of COVID. I was not at Nationals. I was watching it on the live stream, and they did that thing where, for whatever reason, like, the live stream was mute.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching, and Millard North did their dance, and it looked great, and it was mute. And then I forget who the other team was, but they did a dance, and it looked great, and there was no music. Fine. And then I remember when I got videos, we were doing Hands by Jewel, They're My Hands, that song.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other team, I remember this so vividly. It was the starting notes of Purple Rain, and the second that dropped, I was like, oh, yeah, well, that song exists in that space on its own.
Yeah.
Like, that Purple Rain
Yeah.
in a space like the ESPN, that
Yeah.
just makes
Yeah.
sense. So one thing that I've really pushed for since that moment is trying to find music that makes sense in that venue.
Mhm.
Like, without, you don't have to do We Are the Champions by Queen, but it has to be something
Yeah,
Right.
powerful like that.
powerful
Yes.
that fills that space and uses it, correctly in that sense. Sometimes, especially since the movement is more contemporary, sometimes I feel like people are drawn to these like acoustic-y, covery things, and I'm like, if this were a Starbucks, this would work, but
Yeah.
this is a gigantic venue, and a gigantic venue where people are going to be like turned away talking to their friends or looking at their phones, and you have to have something that like is almost like a call to action where
Mhm.
everybody just looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
that
that
way.
song, like
Yeah.
that feeling.
Yes.
Yeah, there has to be some sort of a wow in the song.
Mhm.
And even if it is a slower song, what gives you goosebumps in the song? There should be a
Exactly.
moment of goosebumps in
Exactly.
there.
Yeah.
Something that just kind of stands out.
Yeah.
Even if it's a slow acoustic song, but then what? Like, what about it?
Yeah. If it's a slow acoustic song, maybe it is a slow acoustic version of a song that the judges would have listened to
Right.
back whenever, and they all like. There's something there, but it has to like scratch that part of your brain that like makes you put your phone down and turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even if it has like I've even seen dances through it with acoustics that like there's a silence in it, and then it
Mhm.
like boom drops,
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, okay, then it gets you excited.
Yeah.
And you don't do any colleges.
I do. This year I did a D1A school, Quinnipiac. I hope that I'm pronouncing that right. It's so many letters. It's so many letters. And I've done a few colleges in the past. I did University of Colorado Boulder, Virginia Tech, and University of Nebraska Lincoln. Me personally, I have always, like, I really enjoy choreographing, but more than I enjoy choreographing, I enjoy teaching. So I feel like the high schoolers are my sweet spot, because it does feel like less of a I'm giving you a product and more like I need to teach you how to get to the product.
Right.
Yeah, so for me, high school has always been kind of my focus, but I've done a few colleges.
Yeah. Are they colleges that go to UDA, or they do other competitions?
They do UDA. The ones that I listed do UDA. I did Indiana last year. They do NDA. I don't think I've done a DTU college yet.
Do you feel a difference with like what you can choreograph if it's a different competition?
Yes, definitely.
Because I mean, that's one of the things that we talk about a lot, that there is like a difference in when you're going to a competition, what their rules are, what their winners get. Like, you have to choreograph, or you have to go for that competition.
Yeah. I when I did Indiana, the coach at a certain point, and it was like an early point in the dance, but at a certain point she was like, we have to have more unison, which is just so opposite of
UDA.
Yeah.
Just so opposite. So yeah, I do think that like each competition has like not a formula, but there are certain things that they're looking for.
Yeah, their score sheets are a little different, and
Yeah.
what they're looking at is a little different.
And
so.
is that something as a choreographer that you've studied, of like, knowing before walking into a competition and what you're going to choreograph for, like looking at the score sheet, seeing what, like, how do you feel that you've researched the difference, I guess?
Well, research, no. But I've learned that, like, being honest about being clueless makes things easier. I think that, like, one of the reasons that I've had a certain level of success in this is because I didn't come from it at all. When I got to Millard North, I was very, like, I don't know what I'm doing, like, just guide me. So in seeing that gave the coaches the opportunity to sort of step in and be like, oh, if we do this, it'll tick that on the score box. If we do that, that's kind of just made me approach all of it that way.
Yeah.
I just go in and say, like, okay, I have ideas, do these work, and the coaches can then collaborate with me and be like, yes, or, you know, love the idea, but no. Yeah.
And do you come back throughout the year and fix your dances? Like, do you ever look at your dance and say, what was I thinking? I gotta redo all that.
So I feel like we've all been through that.
Constantly.
A couple schools I do, but a lot of them, no. I am always available for people to reach out to me, to show me things and text me and say, like, hey, this thing doesn't work. And, you know, so many schools have footage of me in, like, basically my pajamas trying to work through new versions of choreography. So we'll rework it that way. But a lot of times, and I say it to the kids when I'm working with them, if I give them something that's really difficult, I'll say, like, I can fix it, but lovingly, my best idea is it's the first one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so a lot of times what I give them at the beginning, it pretty much stays the same.
Which is great because, I mean, if you could start off with the strong base and just, clean and get better from there, is great.
Yes, yeah.
But, there are times you've got to scratch things and start again. And
Yes.
just, it's so stressful.
Yeah. It is. And I mean, I would say there was a moment in my career more before I was doing so many dance teams where I was a nightmare, a really professional nightmare, but a nightmare in the sense of, like, I would look at things and overthink, and I would be like, I'm not going to finish it, I'll fly myself back out, and I would, like, lose money on choreography because I would need to fly back to Montana to finish a small group. Like, I used to do stuff like that all the time, and now I can tell really quickly if it's not working.
Yeah.
Like, instead of wasting 3 days, I'll waste about 30 minutes, and I'll be like, ooh, this isn't this isn't it. Yeah.
It's great. I think you get to that point, the more you choreograph, the more you do it, so you get more confident in what you're doing. But it is hard every year. We were talking about it every year to one up on yourself and another one, and then I gotta be better. It's not easy. It's,
No.
and as you get older, you get tired, and it's like, I've been there, done that. What do I do now? Where do I go from here? How can I be creative again? And people don't realize it's very hard. It's a hard little world to be a part of, and continue being on that up, and continue outdoing yourself and your team outdoing themselves. So hats off to you, because you've done
thank you.
You've done
Thank
great
you.
back to back years.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that is, I would say, the hardest part of the job, because I do think that there is okay, I'll say it like this, like, my peers in Los Angeles, like, I was around, like, Talia Favia a lot, Chaz Buzan a lot, like, all of these people, and one of the things that I would notice with them, and I was really quietly jealous of, is they had an ability, like, you can watch 1 8 count of something on stage and be like, Talia. So it was me working towards figuring out what that thing is for me, but then also trying to figure out how to never let it look like what I did the last year.
Or like with multiple teams.
Exactly. Even though, 11 of the dancers were the same ones from last year, or I did it the weekend after. Yeah, I feel like that is the hardest part, is figuring out, like, how do I make sure everyone in the arena knows that that's mine without it being a carbon copy?
Yeah.
Like, what's the, thin line there?
Well, it's funny you say that because, I think that the choreographers don't get enough credit at UDA and, at any competition, really. And that was one of the things that I put in my survey was I think that choreographers' names should be up there, just like the coaches, because that piece would not be that piece without a choreographer. And I think that it's important to give credit because you guys deserve it. Because you guys, this is your livelihood. And people want to know, oh my God, who did that piece? Because you want to get hired by somebody else. And how do they find out? It's not that easy. So I think that it should be on the big screen. It should say, this school, coached by, choreographed by.
Yeah.
And then that way,
Yeah, thank you for advocating for that. Because it is.
It's important.
It is, and it really is. It is our livelihood, and it is so much. I've talked to someone about this recently. Not only is it so much work, but it is such a specific work that, all work serves you and goes into other things, but not really. Like, the skills that I have honed in to be good at this, I only use here.
Yeah.
Right.
Even when I go to a competition studio, I have to deprogram the machine and kind of switch things around. Like something as simple as a clean and prep. I can't do that at a competition studio. So it's it's a lot of work, and it is a lot of work that only serves this work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're only going to be working in this little world, you're not going to get much. You've got to be able to be versatile.
Right.
And, be able to outsource yourself. And I could go and I could be in competition studio and I could teach at a convention and I could teach a competition solo and just like I can a dance team one and be successful.
Right.
And everybody can't do that.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
Speaking of which, you do teach at Prodigy, or you did teach at Prodigy. So how's that, and how did you get started with Prodigy? I know that you have a relationship with Derek, friendship with him.
Derek, it's the most random call ever. He called me one day and was like, hey, I'm going to make a dance team convention. And I kind of felt myself patting him on the back, okay, we'll see. I was excited about the conversation, but it was just, to me, it felt so out of left field that I was like, yeah, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then literally 2 weeks later, he was sending me dates and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, this is real. The convention that I taught jazz on, Derek would be there as an assistant, and he would have to assist my jazz class, which was fun. Funny, he hated it. He
got to dance, you didn't have to, so that worked for you.
It did. Yeah, everybody thought my legs were really high. I was like, that's what it looks like. So years ago, he was my assistant there, and we've been friends for, at this point, 12 years, and gone through really real life personal stuff, walked him through I guess career stuff, but also normal life, this is how you do this is how you don't do this is how you get out of this safely, blah 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 blah. When he messaged me about doing this, I was really excited because I've learned that as you become an adult, you have to make time to see people that are important to you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And there was a period of time where I don't think I had seen him in 4 years.
Oh wow.
Because you just work and you work. So when he messaged me and said this, I was like, wait, I can work and see you. So he started this dance team convention, and I teach jazz on it, and I think it's really I think it's a good experience because both Derek and myself are coming from an outside perspective. I didn't have dance team when I was growing up. I was just a studio kid, just an art school kid. So I am able to say, like, from my outside perspective, this is what I'm seeing that is working for these people and isn't working for you, or like, this is how I notice people that are currently on dance team show up to take my class versus how you as a studio kid are showing up to take my class. And I feel like that insight is really beneficial to students that are trying to figure it out.
Yeah, Derek is great, and what an amazing dancer. I remember when he was
Yeah.
young,
Goodness.
he was just
Gifted
beautiful.
in so
Yes.
many ways.
I mean,
Yeah.
just flawless.
Yeah.
So, and for him to bring that and decide, okay, well, I'm going to help, these young kids get into colleges and expose them to all the different colleges that are out there, I think it's amazing. And that he's got such a great staff with him, because
Yeah.
you guys, you have a great staff.
Thank you.
And it's a great group of you guys. But anyway, so the Prodigy, the big convention that's in Ohio, what's the difference between that and all the other ones?
Honestly, I think it's really the amount of recruiters that are there. Like for these coaches and stuff, I personally don't know how they're able to do it, like how you're able to keep up with not only coaching who's currently on your team, but cleaning the nationals numbers and being at all the like sports things that you need to be at, et cetera, et cetera. So when it's time for the regionals, everybody does their best to be there, but I feel like sometimes, you just can't make it work to be at a regional the same way that you can make it work to be at a national.
Yeah.
So I think it's that. Also, I feel like a lot of with Prodigy at least, a lot of what happens that first regional weekend is like a learning curve.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is what's expected. Like, you can't look bored on the side. You got to imagine that this is a game and you're on the field the whole time, like having discussions like that to try to help. So I feel like with this nationals, it's going to be like a deeper dive.
Yeah.
Since
Right.
we've gotten through the introductory stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the big one that's in Ohio, that one, when he books her, I mean, I don't even know if you know the answer, but does he check with all the colleges to see, hey, is this a good weekend? Because the colleges, they all have football weekends.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yes.
it's not
Yes.
easy for them.
It is not easy for them. Yeah, I think that was this weekend that we're doing it is the one that the most decided would work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's important. Like,
It is.
it is a season, event, and what all these coaches are going through right now, and like you were saying, getting ready for nationals, but this is heavy football season,
Right.
So
Right.
for them to be able to pick up and go is not that easy.
Yeah.
And for dancers, I mean, it's so crazy for the high school kids right now.
Yeah.
Like it is like they are on stress level one.
Oh my gosh.
They are poor things because right now is that they know this is a crunch time. So
is.
to go to the convention now and be able to see these coaches, this might be the last time they see them before the
Right.
coaches pick.
Yes.
These are the ones that I want on my
Right,
team.
right,
So
yeah.
it is a big deal. I'm sure that their stress level is woo.
Yeah.
Going for college dance team is not for the weak.
It's
You
not.
have to have thick skin and
Yep.
really it's about sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because all those weekends you give up going to these clinics, all of the time, sleep,
Yep.
effort,
Yeah.
it's
money. The money you're
money.
spending, and
Yes.
you do it in the dance world no matter what.
Right.
I mean, if you're in dance and you're in dance all these years, you've been spending a
Yeah.
lot of
A
money.
lot of money.
So it's not like something new to the parents. Oh, look, we're going to be spending money on a weekend or whatever. I think that there's choices that the kids have to make at this point. And do I want to continue going to all these dance studio competitions and all that, or do I want to refocus and go to these recruitment weekends? You're still dancing one
Right.
way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
It's
training
just
at the end of
what
the
your
day.
dancing is for. It's you really got to be looking at my future is this, so what is going to get me there?
Right.
And I think something like Prodigy is a great resource for these kids, and some of them can't afford to spend every weekend going recruiting. So go there, you're going to be able to
Yes.
see a bunch of coaches at once.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, you're going to be able to see a bunch of coaches at once, and you have someone that is really attempting to bridge the gap. So, like, let's say a recruiter isn't able to be there on a weekend, it's not just like, oh, well, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
No. Derek is then going to make sure that like there's footage and he gets it to the recruiter because that's what he said was going to happen. So it is really helpful in those ways because, yeah, I mean, it to me, this feels like like a whole different level of competitive.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it really is.
Yeah.
They are all competing without really thinking that they're competing.
And it's not like a first place trophy at a studio competition that I didn't get first this time. I'll go to the next one and
Right.
like this is the next 4 years
Right.
of their lives essentially. So it's like, and each school takes maybe 8 to 10.
Yeah.
8 to 12. Many, that's a lot. That's
Yeah,
a lot.
like no more than 12. I think the biggest that I've heard is 12.
Yeah, I think an average is more like a 7.
Yeah, I would
maybe 8.
agree.
But I mean, you also have to think if that recruitment weekend, you're not on. Like it's not like your turning day. Like everybody has a day that, oh my God, I'm not hitting my turns today, or you're feeling sick, or you pulled a muscle. That's it. That you had to have had that moment, and if you don't, put that first impression and have the recruiters all looking at you saying, "I want that one." That's it. Your chance is over.
Yeah.
So as many chances as they can get in front of these recruiters is so valuable for them. But having that one spot where here I have 25, 30, 40 looking at me and, seeing what I can do.
Yeah.
That's, what a great source that is for them.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like, obviously I have not experienced the recruitment process, but as we were talking about with like, not realizing how much stuff I was learning in the peripheral, I think that going to something like this where I am trying to get with the like whatever my number one school is and understanding that there's other schools there as well is really, really, really crucial. Because I think so many people get really caught up with, as we were saying in the car, like the Ohio State, Minnesota, LSU, and there's only so many slots.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit, at least for me, as I've started doing Prodigy, there's a lot of programs that I've run into where I'm like, oh, I don't think I realized you guys had one. And I think that the kids probably same thing.
Yeah.
Like I do think that there is a desire to be a part of these routines that are remembered, but also I do think that it's kind of like you want what you hear of the most, and going to something like a Prodigy where someone from a lesser known dance team can come up to you and be like, hey, we'd love to talk to you, can open your eyes to seeing that there's more there.
Yeah.
Well, and you've seen teams come from nowhere and like sweep people away.
Yes.
Like, Ohio State wasn't Ohio State overnight.
Right.
Like they were part of the growth and the build, and they got to where they are now because they had to go through the steps.
Yes.
So, of course, everybody wants to be part of the Ohio State, Minnesota, LSU because, they're incredible.
Incredible.
But look at UCF climb, the way that they've climbed, almost overnight.
Yeah,
because, the second that Joyce took over, wow. But, you could be part of that. And you could be that team that one day maybe kicks Ohio State and Minnesota out of number 1 and 2. You could be that team and you could be a part of that team. And that's so special.
No, or be a part of a team who is on the climb, like a UM.
Yeah.
Like that, you've got Johnny there at UM that she's just 100%, like whatever. Like she's just so happy, and be part of that team who is, never went to nationals. First year that goes to nationals. The second year, maybe it makes it semifinals. Next year, being part of that is so special, and the kids don't realize it. They just want that instant gratification.
And there's so much more than first place.
Yeah.
Like it's not just about, I want to be part of the number 1 team. It's also, are you ready to be part of the rigorous curriculum of what that number 1 team is going to have to go through?
Yeah.
Are you ready to, represent that school? Do you like where the school is located? Like, there's so many other things that go into it that, of course, everybody wants to be part of number 1, but are you ready to be a part of that?
And that they, you could be part of the team that is a national champion football team.
Yes.
And you're on the field for that. So a couple years back, or several years back, that when FSU won the national championship, then I had a couple of dancers on the team. they got to be on the field when they won, you know, when the fireworks went off.
Yeah.
You're like that's a memory that you will have forever. So understanding that you're choosing to go to a team that could have all these amazing memories for you, and knowing like I have options to be a part of that, that's so special. Like they don't realize how, like, what a big deal. Like I didn't have that. That was not offered to me when I was young. Like we didn't have those experiences. And even like 10 years ago, the kids didn't have the experiences that they have now. So knowing and understanding it, and I think something like Prodigy is giving them those options of seeing, look at everything that you could have, look at all these,
and that there's a
programs.
Team for everyone. No matter how talented you are, like there is a team for you.
Do you get to connect with the coaches at all when you're there in the conventions?
I do a little bit. I mean, honestly, they have so many people to look at.
I'm sure.
I tend to like hang back some. But I do have a chance to connect with them, and it's nice to see, you know, I have like a lot of respect for coaches, because so often I'm the person that comes in and I choreograph it, and I know in my head it's gonna work, but it looks terrifying, and I'm like, there, have fun, and you know, coaches bring it to life and fix it. So yeah, it's nice for me to like, even something like just when we have lunch together and I can like look around and be like, wow, some of you guys are like young and you're able to do this, or you know, some of you have been doing this for a long time, and just seeing that like fun mix of people that weren't on the team versus people that were on the team and took it over. That whole thing.
It's cool to see coaches who were on the team and then end up taking over and be a part of it, because you know, they know what history, what traditions and stuff like that to try to uphold. But that's not always easy, because, you know, you never know when there's going to be a position opening. So, you know, and as a dancer, if that's your goal, you know, it's not, you know, it's not that easy to get to that,
it's not.
that position. So I know.
It does get hard too. I mean, as somebody that was part of my own program before I became a coach, it's also hard sometimes to evolve. Like I think now, after doing this for so long, I recognize like the importance of moving along with the times. But sometimes it's hard to break from tradition if it's not something that you know, you really like, I don't know, like even just little things like changing of competitions. Like sometimes it's like, this is so nostalgic. Like how could I leave from here? This is something I did, and it's like, maybe this isn't what's best for my team. So obviously, like as you do it longer and as consistency becomes part of your own, you know, program, you learn what's good for your team and what's not, and you know what's growing, and because you're growing as a team and as a coach, you know, your program's growing too. So I think finding the balance is so important.
How do you keep up with the times? Because as a choreographer, that's not easy.
I again in the I just throw my hands up and say I don't know. I just ask my students, like my competition students. I'll just flat out ask them, like, guys, like, what do you think right now is like really cool dance wise? Like, show me a video that you think is really great. And sometimes we see eye to eye. Sometimes I'm like, y'all, that's not it. But just trying to like, I don't know. I try to foster an environment that feels collaborative, where people know that their input is valuable. Like, I don't think that if I'm choreographing, like I can have a 16-year-old look at me and be like, and it won't upset me, because I do know that like it right now
they're in it. They're in the thick of it.
Exactly. They're in it, and I'm not. Like if I could have it my way, we'd all be dancing to Celine Dion.
Tell me with a good time. Okay.
Like, come on, like we'd be doing that.
That's my bread and butter.
Yes, that's what we'd be doing. And times have changed, so just trying to stay almost eye to eye, so that they do know that it's my process, but it has to be my process to give them their piece.
Well, and I think it becomes more special for them too.
It does.
Like that part that they inspired you with, it becomes their favorite part.
Yeah.
Right.
And they perform it better. And
Right.
like, you know, they become part of, like, that dance becomes part of them.
Yeah.
In their performance.
And it's not easy to always be asking the kids, because a lot of people have pride. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, you know, I'm way better. I don't need you. But it's so important that they feel like they are a part of it. And something as simple as, you know, give me a turn. What turn would you do? Or what arm would you do? Makes them feel like I am a part of this.
Yes.
And it doesn't really make a difference to you as a choreographer. It's
No.
like,
And at the end of the
Love
day,
it.
it's also, you're choreographing for a team.
Mm-hmm.
So you're creating that team environment by creating collaboration.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, we are a team. At the end of the day, it's, I'm part of this team too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen in process that it creates like a really strong bond when a lot of the time now, the moments where it's collaborative are these, you know, skills and stuff. So often I have to say to kids, like, when I was dancing, we weren't doing head springs. So now that we've moved on, you know, 10 light years beyond that,
Yeah.
like, or when I went to Debbie Allen Dance Academy at the end of the year, in the men's ballet class, at the end of the year, we worked on 540s.
Wow. Yeah.
That. And now it's just run of the mill. Like,
Yeah.
do you have
Yeah.
your 540? Yeah, sure. So a lot of the times, the moments where I'm like, y'all, I don't know, it's like skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, we weren't walking on our hands like that.
Yeah.
So
And it's hard to find that balance between dancing and the emotional
Mhm.
that, but then still stick the skills that it
skills,
doesn't
yes.
look like, okay, I'm sticking a skill in
Right,
there.
right, right.
Yeah, it has to flow.
It does have to flow. And when those moments happen, those are usually the moments where, like, I will full on be like, okay, I'm gonna get water, and so is gonna teach you how to do this skill. And I've noticed that sort of me taking my hands off the steering wheel and be like, nope, this is who you're gonna respect for the next 5 minutes. Let's get to it. Has created a stronger bond.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they do know, like, okay, well, if Morgan can be like, I don't know everything, then maybe there's another moment where my coach is going to look at someone and I probably need to listen to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's
Yeah.
very true. If there's a piece of advice you can give to dancers who are looking to, you know, being in this dance team world and are looking to go to college and then maybe choreographing and stuff, what would it be?
Oh, my piece of advice would be to keep your options open. Keep your options open. Like, if you want to make like a bullseye of where you want to go, sure, let's throw it. But if it doesn't land in that tiny red circle, can you be content with it landing on the board at all?
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing, is like, can I be hyper vigilant with my focus without being hyper focused on where the ending has to be?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, can I just work really hard with the goal of, I want to be in dance, I want to have a dance team experience, without saying, like, but I must be wearing these colors with this mascot and I must make the floor in my first national. Like, I think that is the biggest piece of advice, is like, you know, kind of surrendering and saying, like, I just want to dance for a living,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
allowing the rest of the story to kind of be written from there, as opposed to, this is my 5-year plan.
Yeah.
I have it down to
Right.
every 12 minutes. Like, I
Have a
think,
goal, but
Yeah.
like, you know, be open to
Yeah, have a goal with wiggle room.
And you definitely are proof of that, because you know, you didn't say I want to do that, but look how things just landed on
Yeah.
the lap for you. So
Yeah.
and how successful you've been able to be with, you know, what was handed to you. You just grabbed it and you said, let's go, let's
Thank
do
you.
it.
Thank
So,
you. Yeah.
Well, Morgan, it's been so awesome having you here with us.
Thank
We've really
you.
enjoyed it. And you know, if people want to hire you or they want to have you, how can they find you?
Yeah, if you just look me up on Instagram, it's at MRGNBRK, Morgan Burke without vowels. I used to watch a lot of Wheel of Fortune, and you had to pay for vowels.
That's so funny.
So just no vowels. And all my information's there. I always say, like, depending on the month, if you reach out to me in like June or July, I don't touch my phone when I'm in the studio. Just give me a nudge.
Yeah.
Like I will respond. I just sometimes will see it and be like 5, 6, 7, 8. Forget.
Yeah.
But I would love to do any and all work.
Okay, well, we loved having you, and we'll definitely be bringing you back to Miami.
Yay! Thank you.
And to our listeners, thank you so much for being with us here today.
And if you like what you heard, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on Instagram. And if you have any questions or suggestions, make sure to click on the link tree in our bio and fill out our Google form.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.